Mr. Maluleke, you have a lot of experience in the medical financing industry, and we just want to understand how this is structured so that our viewers will know how to choose when they meet the several options that are out there in the public. And at the beginning, I just want you to explain to me the options that someone will have for themselves, for their loved ones, for their friends, for the people that they are looking after when the unfortunate happens on a rainy day when they don't have money to finance for their health care and they need to finance for their health care. What options do they have? And can you simplify? Because there are many products out there, there are many companies out there peddling things, but we don't really understand what they are and what goes on behind doors.
Yeah, so maybe to speak of two popular options.
Yes.
And the most popular one would be a medical aid.
Okay.
So medical aid or medical aid societies are companies maybe in the Zimbabwe context, like say SIMAs, who run as a scheme.
Let's speak for the context of the world. Zimbabwe, yes. South Africa also, yes.
Yeah.
Is it different from country to country, or is the principles apply generally?
No, I'm not that well traveled to know how it is like, but I would like to believe that
for South Africa and Zimbabwe,
it's very much common globally. So you have medical aid schemes which you pay monthly, and then they pay your medical bills when you are attended by a medical institution.
Yeah.
So what how it differs with the other option, which is also popular, your medical insurance. Medical insurance pays a lump sum. They give you money instead of paying a doctor. So when you are sick, they give you money, a certain amount based on whatever the contract is. So you decide what to do with the money. Whereas with medical aid is when you are sick, you go to a doctor attend to you, and then they go to the medical aid scheme to claim.
Okay.
So that's basically the major difference.
So with I want for us all to understand properly. I'll just maybe repeat and try and clarify that with medical aid societies, members, they pay in, and it's like a cooperative fund that is managed by professionals, which is the medical aid company. They are the managers of your fund, and when you are not well, they'll pay directly to the person who has provided the service in terms of your consultations, your reviews, procedures done on you, and the medicines that have been used on you. So they'll pay to the pharmacist directly. So, whereas medical insurance is like the insurance you might have for your car or something like that.
I think you
can you clarify there?
You can use that as an example. Like with a vehicle, you pay your monthly premium, and then in an event of an accident,
they have a certain amount of money that you are eligible for.
Yes, you remember for a vehicle, it's like it's based on the damage.
Yes.
So if the damage is 10,000, they assessed to 10,000, they'll pay 10,000. So, but the
Does it happen the same way with illnesses, that you'll be paid a certain amount according to the severity of the illness or type of illness?
Yeah, so I think maybe if you want to use car insurance as an example in the medical, between medical aid and medical insurance, I think that vehicle insurance can more or less like fit into the medical aid space, because like the payment is simply based
Okay.
on
what it needs
they
to be done.
assess, yes, what needs to be, but it goes beyond to replacing a vehicle if say
Okay,
it's
so what
written
about
off, whereas in a human being it's a different thing.
Yeah. What
But
about in a medical
insurance
Yeah.
is they pay money to you.
And you decide how to use the money.
So if say maybe you took a contract that says if you are sick, blah blah blah, this is how much we are
We'll
paying
give you 10,000 rand.
So yes, so it doesn't matter like what your like treatment will cost. So
But
they give you that agreed amount. If say it's 10,000, they will give you 10,000. Even if say your medical bills it's gets to 5,000 or it will get to more than that. They only pay you that agreed amount.
And this amount you can use it for your treatment as well as maybe loss of income or whatever else you want to use during the time you are not well. Is
Yeah,
that correct?
it's meant for your medical bills.
But
because
if
you are sick.
but
remember,
if
they give you money,
yeah.
now it's up to the person. Someone can decide, hey, I'm not going to
the doctor, I'm going to the nganga.
Yes, someone can decide for something.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, there's that difference. It's mainly on the payments, how the payments are done. One, they pay to the service provider. The other one, they pay a lump sum to you. I think that is the basic difference that can, like anyone can understand on the street.
Okay. And is there any other method to look after people? Because what I understand is for both of these, you need a steady income and you are paying monthly. And yet, in Southern Africa, in particular in Zimbabwe and in South Africa, we all know that there's a significant proportion of the population who are not formally employed. Maybe they might be like my uncle James. Yeah? My uncle James is not formally employed. He works for himself. But he's somebody, although he doesn't get let's say a stipulated amount of money per month, but he's somebody who probably, if you add up these subscriptions, he can afford them in a year. But sometimes his money comes, most of his money comes around Christmas because he sells beer and meat. He does buying of meat. So are there any arrangements in the medical space that accommodates informal entrepreneurs like Uncle James? Whereby somebody, for example, can come and pay at irregular times, but they know that my insurance, my medical insurance is 10,000 per year total.
Yeah. No, I don't know of any that it's favorable to people who are mainly informally employed.
Okay. That's fine.
But I think what makes it the case, it's because the risk that is involved. So you remember medical insurance, it's a business.
Yes.
So no one would want to take a risk on someone whom they cannot guarantee collecting premiums and so forth. It's the same with people who are in the entertainment industry. Some, they will struggle, as much as they may get money, they will struggle to have a bank backing them up to buy property because their kind of employment doesn't align with the statutes of the bank that makes bank operational. So they calculate the risk, and because of the risk factor, people who are not formally employed are not favored in that case. So I think it's the same on the medical industry.
I still remember one thing comment from Dr. Sidney Mkonoroshuro from Harare. He is the founder and CEO of Ultramed Medical Aid, and he was making a comment that you know, in Zim, for example, about 30% to 40% of the population have got some kind of insurance. Of that 30 to 40%, about out of that total, only 3 to 4% is medical insurance, and the rest is funeral cover. And I was saying to myself, so people believe more in life after death. They don't want to live comfortably. They don't want to live pain-free. They don't want to guarantee that part of the now, to say if I'm not feeling well, I should be looked after somehow. But maybe that's for another day's discussion. What I wanted to know is basically, this seems to be a gap, a huge gap in the way our people are looked after, and maybe for some entrepreneurs, this might be a huge opportunity, isn't it? To look after those who are informally employed.
Yeah, obviously, for every challenge, there is an opportunity.
Yes.
So why do we have medical aid when we have public health systems? So when the public health system fail, they present an opportunity for medical aid because everyone wants proper medical cover. So even in a case where the current system tends to favor people who have formal employment, what would it take to make it work? In business, it's guarantees. So I would love to believe that if, say, maybe people like entrepreneurs can create a system that can guarantees the payment of services. You remember here it's that you need to collect money and then still be able to pay for services when your members goes there. So if you can't collect the premium, it means that you're going to have struggles in terms of paying for services, and would you still be able to make profit? So that is the biggest challenge that
I do understand that for a fund to work, it needs to be funded.
Yes.
But people, all of the schemes, it seems like the schemes that are created currently are all based on old systems whereby everyone here is assumed to be working for a company X, and company X pays the individual monthly, and your contributions can be deducted directly from the salary or something like that, or from the bank.
So if you look at this, right, it's the biggest thing, it's the risk factor. So if someone can come up with a system that favors people who are...
And then now what we are doing at Lowveld Intercare Consulting Rooms and Centralised Intercare Diagnostics, surgery, those are the two institutions that I own. We allow people to come at any time and pay money into their own account, and the money doesn't expire because the year is ended. and it's like a savings account. Anytime they want services, they come to us and they draw down on what they have in their account.
Yeah, I think that is another smart way of dealing with it. And don't people like fear like if I pay money up front and then I die and my family don't know my money will be lost at Lowveld?
This is a good thing. That's a good contribution to say, okay, you have this with us, so it means that we need to make an agreement that because dying is real, we all are going that way. It's something that we should make a provision on the contract that we make with the clients, that they should declare what happens to their balance when they pass on.
Look, I see a lot of things happening and possibilities are out there. I look at the setup, how things work. The kind of people, majority of the people, even here in South Africa, unemployment is high. So
Very
how
high,
are
very
people
looking after their medical
themselves?
needs, yeah.
Like the way people pay for their grocery. People who have informal, like they do odd jobs, they still buy grocery like each one of us.
They still
They
live
just
and buy
do not
clothes
buy
at the
on
regular
monthly
time
basis like we do.
Yeah.
So
somebody might say, for sugar, I'm buying my sugar for the whole year.
yes.
For soap, I'm buying my soap for the whole year. They've got a system. If we create that flexibility in the medical space, people will use those tools.
Yes, that's the thing.
And the market is potentially bigger than the formalized one that is happening now. Why? Because of the proportion more people are not formally employed.
I've seen this of late. You see, like people who provide fiber.
Yeah.
Fiber used to be mainly in suburbs.
Yeah.
Because those are the people who have a pay slip, who can check and so forth. But of late I've seen people go to many of the townships.
Yeah.
And majority of the people there, you find that there are people who do not have formal employment.
Yeah.
But they still afford data. So
yeah,
as entrepreneurs, we need to come up with solutions that
meet the needs of the people.
Yes,
those markets that are neglected.
Yes.
And I believe that market is grossly neglected. And once again, I think the solution is with us as entrepreneurs, as people who deeply care for our people, to find ways to accommodate people.
Yeah, no, very true.
Yeah.
Very true. We need to start developing our own solutions without like bringing
I look at people like Strive Masiwa. You are aware of Strive Masiwa, right? Zimbabwean billionaire. Okay, let's look at people who are moving money in this country. Long time ago, the only people who could move money formally, do you know, were people with bank accounts. But now anyone can move money across. They can send money over the phone with you.
Yes, yes.
To you, yeah? You can send money to anyone right now over the phone, because those people, those innovators, those tech innovators who came and said we can move money over the phone. This is basically what I'm talking about.
Yes.
We need to innovate in the funding of the healthcare sector so that we can say anyone can be insured.
Yeah, no, true. You see, this what I wanted to say, majority of the systems that we use are systems that do not speak to African problems.
Yes.
So if we do not come up with systems like systems like you're talking in the financial sector, you need to have a bank account to move money.
Yes.
But now you can move money without a bank account.
Exactly.
Money will get to where it's supposed to
Exactly.
get. And how do those people mitigate the risk? There are measures that they put in between
Exactly.
to alleviate the risk. So in the same manner, in the medical space, for people who do not have formal employment, you can create a system that will work. You deal with the risk factor that people do not go and enjoy the benefit without paying.